as I mentioned, LaSalle with a huge win against Ateneo in the first round encounter this season in the UAAP. Let's go all out on that story. Joining us this morning on this Monday is LaSalle big man Ben Phillips and their one and only head coach, ang nag-iisang Manong Derek Pumarin. Good morning, Manong. Good morning, Ben. I'll start with Manong. Manong, small world. Kabatch mo pala dad ko sa Lourdes.
Yes.
Yeah, I was messaging him and yun, parang nagko-congratulate. Sabi nga ng daddy ko, kunin mong ninong yan, si Derek Pumarin.
Yeah. Sabi nga na, graduate din pala siya ng LaSalle.
Kaya ano mo talaga.
Small world talaga.
Coach, congratulations sa'yo pala ha. Oh, big win.
Thank you.
Against Ateneo. Big win for you. And Ben as well. Magandang umaga sa'yo, Ben. Nice to have you back on the show, man.
Maraming salamat. Magandang umaga po.
Well, let's take us through that game. It was a nail-biter as advertised. And the past few years, aminin na natin, there were times na, Ateneo was just too much and medyo predictable but now it was just really an exciting game and LaSalle winning for the first time in 5 years. As I mentioned nga, 2017, Game 2 of the finals. Season 80 pa yung huling panalo ng LaSalle against Ateneo. Coach, how did you prepare for this matchup? What was different this time around when you talked to the boys heading into this game against Ateneo?
Well, I just have to make them realize that we're not playing an ordinary team now. Ateneo is not an ordinary team. But they've been in the finals for the last 4 years, I think, 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just have to be ready for them, and we just have to believe that we can beat and we can match up with Ateneo.
Ben, Coach did touch upon it. Ateneo is still Ateneo with the system really being executed well by Coach Tab Baldwin, and the pieces may have changed through the years, but still they can, given a chance, Ateneo, they've proven it time and again, they can work like a well-oiled machine. But you guys really proved that you guys can also contend with the best of the best. What can you say about this particular game? And since it's your second season, ano yung pinagkaya mo? What was the big difference this time around when you faced Ateneo in this first round matchup in the UAAP this season?
Opo. Para sa namin, iniisip ko yung game experience dito. Like this time, we were more prepared as players, diba? Because the coaching staff at LaSalle does a fantastic job of preparing us. Pero yung last season, medyo nervous ako, and it was our first time kind of playing in that Ateneo LaSalle rivalry. Pero nayon, that we've kind of been through those 2 games, and to be in Araneta for the first time and see half the side was green, half the side was blue. We were able to kind of weather that storm. They were a fantastic team. Their system was phenomenal. But it was a game of runs. And like Coach Derek always says, we have to play 48 minutes of De La Salle basketball.
Yeah.
And so we were able to do that.
Well, Ange Kwame, of course, still a formidable presence. He is the reigning MVP after all. 22 points, 10 offensive boards. However, you guys did manage to prevent Ange from doing more damage in the end game, especially in the crucial moments. Ben, I don't know if I was able to ask you about this, but I can't remember, but I'll ask you now live here on Sports Desk on CNN Philippines. How is it really guarding a guy like Ange Kwame? And considering he's coming off an injury, but how is it guarding a big man who is as mobile and agile and a 7-footer like Ange?
Well, if he's injured, he certainly didn't play like. He played kind of just like the same Kwame that we're used to, that we game plan for. There were so many times in the game where my defensive rotation is to rotate to Ange and stop him, but he just barrels his way through like a tank. And so there's times where you try and throw a lot of different rotations, a lot of different matchups. But he was just phenomenal to play against. But able, it takes 5 guys to win that game, and so guys like Shawnee Waynes, guys like Raven Cortez were stepping up to that challenge.
Yeah.
So we're really excited that we can pull that off in light of a great game from Kwame.
Yeah, your brother was just up and down the court. I did say that, I really love his motor. Manong, I don't know if I'm sure naalala mo, itong mga bata pa itong mga to. Sabi ko si Mike Phillips reminds me of a Rudy Hatfield kind of guy. Diba? Yung masipag lang, diba, Coach?
Yes. Smaller version.
Small. Pero masipag, di ba? Pati talagang tumatakbo. Dirty work lang eh. Pag-usapan naman natin yung isa pa, like, he's been, kumbaga, Shawnee Winston is the guy who can put up buckets, di ba? Can score with the basketball. He's very talented. He's been outstanding the past few games in the UAAP for LaSalle. But he was just red hot. Ang laging lang sinasabi, kaya ba ni Shawnee mag-take over in the end game? Does he have that like Mamba instinct, that killer mentality? Pag fourth, nawawala siya. Yung sinasabi ng iba. But he scored 25 against Ateneo, and he just proved na he could deliver in the clutch, especially those mid-range jumpers. Talk about the value of what Shawnee Winston brings, especially in the second season, para sa'yo, Manong Derek.
Well, I had a talk with Shawnee, and just have to explain his role for the team. And he's the most senior player sa team ko right now, no? And as I explained to him that if things are not going right, he's got to be more assertive. No? He cannot just go with the flow of the team. He just has to come get the basketball and make things for me, create things for us. And then that's what he did in the fourth quarter. He was more assertive in the fourth quarter. He has to take over the game if he has to. He cannot just, parang just be part of the team. No? So we need that because, as I said, he's the most senior player, Simon, and the most experienced. He's going his fifth year now. But, so he was able to step up to the challenge, and he was able to show it last night.
Yeah, and then again, I was commending his mid-range game. Grabe, that really proved a difference. And yung hindi na natatakot, tipong he was aggressive, to say the least, especially in that fourth quarter. Ben, you and your brother, Mike, are already a dangerous tandem to begin with for LaSalle. The moment you guys arrived for LaSalle, I knew it was going to spell trouble for other teams in the UAAP. It's not every day that you see two brothers who magaling magtagalog, napakasipag pa on the court, and very, just good character guys. And I believe etong si Manong Derek will agree with me on this one. But LaSalle also has a additional pa dito with KQ, with Kevin Cambao now in the picture, who can also dish as a big man, at 7.6 rebounds against Ateneo yesterday. How is KQ and your other guys, the big guys, also meshing with the chemistry you guys already have carrying over from last season as you want to make a deeper push this season?
Oh, well, obviously, meron kami yung maraming preseason tournaments to get the team chemistry together this time, diba? Kasi we had Echo Oil teams for the PBA D League, tapos yung Phil Oil, Echo Oil Cup, and then our training in Japan. So we had a lot of time to really gel together this preseason, which I commend to the coaching staff and the management at LaSalle. But KQ brings a different element to our team, being a pass-first big man, a point forward. Sometimes being on the receiving end of his passes, you have to always just have your hands up, even if you don't lock eyes with him, because you just never know when that ball's going to come in your hand. But like I said before, Raven Cortez had a great game. He stepped up. Brighton Awanko is filling, a different role for us from last season. So, all of us bigs, we have to make sure that we make it easy for our guards, make it easy for our coaching staff by communicating out there and doing the dirty work. So I'm glad that even though, we got out-rebounded against Ateneo, there were still a lot of things that us bigs did to kind of win that game at the end.
Manong, I want to ask you about Ben, because Ben is a great character. We know yung mga fits niya, yung mga suot niya, which I will get to later, pagdating sa fashion style. Dahil gusto ko talaga makita Manong Derek versus Ben Phillips in a fashion showdown in the UAAP. And I remember asking Ben about...
No match ako.
No, mismatch ba? Bakit? Mismatch ba? Parang poposte ka. No, but let's talk about Ben and his improvement from last season, and what the value also for Ben Phillips, what he brings to your team. Kasi, Ben's a great character guy to be with, the Phillips brothers. But particularly, let's talk about Ben for a bit, Coach.
Well, I think he brings leadership on the table. He brings a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy to the team. And then he really rubs off sa teammates niya. and he's a great role player. He'll do what you ask him to do. Parang coaches would love him. Would love a player like this. No? He's really improved a lot. Defensively, he has adjusted to the Philippine brand of play. He has a better outside shot now, as he showed it last night. No? Hopefully that he continue to improve that.
And you want to react to that, Ben? With what your coach? It's rare. Manong Derek Pumaren will say words like that about this is the most talkative we will have a Manong Derek Pumaren. I think you'll agree with me on that one. Anything you want to say about that, Ben?
I'm just very humbled, to have such a living legend like Coach Derek Pumaren. I knew when he put me in the 3-on-3 basketball tournament last season, he really told me to just work on my game and develop, and this would be, kind of the byproduct of that. So just being able to study from someone like that every day, and a lot of people don't see it, but in practice, he makes a lot of jokes. He's really fun to be around. So, he's just a wonderful coach, and he really embodies, the animal spirit that he tries to impart on all of us.
Okay, how about on the fun side? Pormahan, before we talk about more on the game and what happened about sige, mamaya na, before I go na lang yung fashion side. Punta tayo kay Mark Nonoy kasi apparently Mark Nonoy got injured early in the game yesterday. Can we get a status live here on the show right now? Manong Derek, kamusta si Mark Nonoy, and will Mark play against UE, which is your next game this Wednesday?
Well, it will depend later. No? The doctor will bring him to the doctor to have him checked. But I think he'll be doubtful for Wednesday. No? Medyo talagang swollen yung ankle niya last night. So, but I'm hoping with the therapy of the PT will do to him, will expedite, and be able to have him ready by Saturday.
Mm-hmm. At least he is ready. And syempre UE, pag sinabing UE, dati mo ngang team yan. Courtside reporter mo, ating sports correspondent na si Pauline Versosa before in the UAP. So, pag sinabi UE, may ano ba, Coach? May extra something ba yun sa'yo na may konting kagat na, syempre dati mong team yun pagkalaban lagi ang UE?
Of course, meron naman. But we just can't let our guards down against UE. That, in fact, the last time we played them, it went to all overtime. So, as I've told the guys after the game, this win means nothing, if we don't take care of business on Wednesday. So we just gotta be ready for UE. That UE is a better team compared to the last season. So we just have to be able to match up, to be able to be ready, really ready for them on Wednesday.
Yeah, and of course, UE, sabi mo nga better team this season. Hindi na you shouldn't undermine them dahil, di ba, pag maging relax kayo, mawala yung kailangan ganun pa rin yung aggressiveness. Tama ba, Coach? Kung ano yung pinakita nyo against Ateneo, kailangan ganun pa rin yung energy against UE, correct?
Yep, we have to be consistently with that, and we cannot just choose, when to turn it on, when to turn it on.
Tama,
It has to be all the same because it's I would say it, but it's the field of competition is parang level. So on any given time that if you get caught napping, then you get ambushed, by any team.
Last question before I let you both go. Thank you again for your time. Manong Derek, maraming salamat sa iyo. And Ben, also thank you for your time. Thank you to our EP in the Morning Show, Jade, for setting this up. Sino mas fashionable? Who's more fashionable? Say it on live TV, on Sports Desk, on CNN Philippines. Is it the swaggy Manong Derek Pumaren or Kuya Ben Phillips?
Swaggy Coach.
Kuya Ben.
Swaggy Coach every time. There'd be a lot of times where I try to ask him games before, like the day before. Anong outfit mo para sa bukas, Coach? And secret lang daw, so I wouldn't be able to compete, diba? So I'm always looking forward to his outfits. It's actually funny, and I don't think he knows this. I never said this either, but he comes into the dugout, right? Without the outfit on because we don't know what it is until we get on the floor. And so he's giving us our pregame pep talks and he's talking to us. We're all excited and hyped up. And then after our warm up, when I see him come out in his outfit, I'm like, oh, we're about to win. Yeah, we're about to win because it just gives me an extra motivation. Like we can't have him lose looking that swaggy out here. We got to win for Coach.
Swaggy Coach, anong gusto mo sabihin tungkol doon?
Hindi naman, no? Ano lang, hindi ko kaya si Ben.
Gusto ko next time,
Kuya Ben, eh.
Manong, next time pag nandito kayo live, pag pwede na tayo
Yeah.
live tayo sa studio, papormahan, kahit ako sasabay ako, kahit alam kong talo ako sa inyo, papatulong ako kay Puli, papatulong ako sa lahat ng stylist. Ben Phillips, Derek Pumarin, Fashion Show on Sports Desk. Thank you so much again, Manong Derek. Maraming salamat also, Ben Phillips. And congratulations again to you guys and De La Salle. Keep on working, keep
Thank
on winning.
you.
Good luck against UE. Manong, usap tayo. Maraming salamat. And Ben, we'll see you again
Alright.
next time. Again, that was the head coach of the De La
Thank
Salle
you.
Green Archers, the one and only Manong
Thank
Derek
you.
Pumarin and big man Ben Phillips, fresh off that victory over Ateneo yesterday.